Greetings, I am Liz and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together. Ha-ha! Alrighty,
We've done it.
We are back again and we are gonna do this thing. This game is a little more hyperactive than I am used to.
Yes.
But, I don't dislike it. It's just
The
taking
energy-
a little while to get a feel of it.
Right, and also, I'm hoping the energy continues, at least. The music is really helpful, but again, the characterization seemed really solid, so I'm hopeful.
I also like, again, the use of text in a real-life kind of fashion of going, sometimes people just cut you off.
Yeah.
Sometimes you mumble off and people miss what you've said.
Oh, absolutely.
It just takes a minute to get used to it. Alright,
Yes.
here we go.
Alright, interestingly, a DVD copy of Jenny Jason's Archery Training Time for the Game Machine 100 also had a large bite taken out of it, and the toaster seemed to have lick marks on the grill. Okay.
Amazing that you can identify lick marks.
An entire box of sugar acorns seemed to have been emptied into the box, coating everything with a thin layer of nutritionless dust.
That is the kind of dust.
Someone had been very hungry. The next box, Kitchen 2, only had a couple of gas canisters inside. I guess they were for the cottage's stove. I don't think Daffodil Lane has much in the way of actual infrastructure. The last box, labelled Kids Room, contained the only real interesting stuff. My eyes went straight towards a small games console and a selection of video games. I spotted one of my favourites, Gun Attack 2.
Such a good name for a game.
Hey, this is one of those little fuckers who always screamed abuse at me when I tried to play that online.
Aww.
Actually, I probably shouldn't refer to a possibly missing kid as a little fucker. That feels a little wrong. There were more sweet wrappers, though this kid had clearly diversified their diet by eating crisps on special occasions. This kid doesn't seem the type to collect old play scripts. I doubt it would be in here. In fact, I don't think there's a single word in this box that isn't a brand name. As I said this, I realised I was wrong. There were some very obvious words in the box, and I didn't know how I missed them before. On a small paper booklet, scrawled in faded felt tip reading, read, "There is a monster near the woods." Underneath.
There's a monster in the woods.
Underneath was a crude scribble, vaguely resembling a crouching figure with a woolly, thick body and 4 eyes. Some kind of imaginary monster, or maybe a wool suitor, I thought?
Maybe it's Mothman.
It could be.
Mothman.
But also I'm like, wool suitor? What's a wool suitor?
Because it's not fur, it's wool.
Oh.
Fursuiter, just a
Right.
specific type of fur.
Oh shit, that's ominous. The handwriting was childlike and shaky. It couldn't have been more than a month old. It was probably written as part of some silly game, I thought, but that didn't stop it from filling me with dread. There's probably a me missing there. Because stop it from filling with dread.
I mean, it may have been filled with dread. You never know.
You never know. What was the monster? I realised the message was written on the front of a small scrap of paper booklet. It looked like it had been written and illustrated by the kid. Squirrel Warrior Princess Adventure.
Squirrel Warrior Princess Adventure was an adventure to save the Squirrel Princess Dragon. She went through the hills and there was a monster shaped like a woolly person. Squirrel Warrior Princess shot him with a bow and arrows and won. That is what you get if you are my enemy, Squirrel Warrior Princess,
Said
Squirrel.
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 Squirrel. Oh, it is Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Oh god, it's Squirrel.
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 She
Squirrel Warrior Princess said Squirrel.
She drove her car, big car, fast and reached Castle Grimskull.
Oh god.
He-Man reference. Nope. Non-copyrighted He-Man
No,
reference.
non-copyrighted at all. Actually,
I am here to save you, Squirrel Princess Dragon, and said Squirrel Warrior Princess.
okay, I have to say that I am actually deeply freaking entertained. So I learned that apparently, Prince Adam from Masters of the Universe, his middle name is Glenn.
It's true.
And I actually laughed because I'm like, Prince Adam Glenn Grayskull is like the funniest, just deeply 80s thing. Prince Adam Glenn.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm fine.
I also just Squirrel Warrior Princess. This is Xena. Squirrel. Alright.
She went through the castle and used her gun to shoot the bad enemies, and she went up the castle. No one can defeat me. I am the strongest warrior. I said. A skeleton popped out, but Squirrel Warrior Princess punched it, and it fell down and cried, and I laughed at it.
this is exactly the kind of tense changing that is in fanfiction all the time, and the fact that it's done so consistently with the bad punctuation so specifically, I'm just having some flashbacks, but I'm also like, you know exactly what you were doing.
Also at the same time does very much sound like basically a child who's deeply excited but doesn't know really how to write.
Well, that kind of thing, if you're so excited that you keep switching from talking to talking about to telling.
Yes.
Yep.
That was really brave. Thank you for saving me.
And I do have to say, like, changing tenses is a thing, and actually changing the perspective of, like, how you're writing, so changing from, like, third person to first person is a thing to do, but it is really difficult to do correctly, and you have to do it with care and thought, otherwise you're going to throw off your audience.
I was going to say, usually you do it with chapter breaks or
Yeah.
whole separate chapters.
Yeah, pretty much.
I said squirrel princess dragon. She flapped her dragon wings. She had dragon wings and can breathe fire, but she is squirrel. No, she played video games together. They played video games together in one sniggle player and Medallion of Honor.
Medal of Honor.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Medallion
God.
of Honor. The end.
Yes. Medal of Honor.
Hunter.
Hunter.
Medallion of Hunter.
Inspiring. I decided it was best to leave before I left. Much more incriminating DNA on everything. I felt pretty sure I wasn't gonna find the play amongst that junk, and I wasn't breaking into what was technically still a crime scene on Nikita's behalf, so I headed down the lane to the last cottage. I strolled past the sheep field. The silly creatures were absent-mindedly chewing on grass, as sheep are apt to do.
Yum.
It looked like a refreshingly simple life. Refreshingly.
Yum.
The field was overshadowed by a large tree. There seemed to be a few shiny pieces of jewelry trapped high up in its branches. Maybe it was one of Le Rose's art pieces?
This is a large tree. Sorry, go ahead.
It's fine. A ragged nest was perched high up near the top. It looked deserted? I guess. The cottage at the end of Daffodil Lane was a bleak building. The windows and the door were boarded up. Its interior was dark, and the entire building had an uneasy aura around it.
And based on the fact that there's only front entrances to all of these cottages, every one of them is a fire hazard.
Yes, pretty much. Compared to its scenic surroundings, this place was a septic sore. I remembered the child's creepy message. If there was anywhere near the woods, a monster would live. Oh, it was here.
Also, you boarded it up by nailing into stucco and brick?
Powerful.
Damn, bro.
Power.
Power.
I was almost relieved to realise I had no way of getting the boarded up door open. Oh, no, there's no way I can get into this cottage. I am so weak and brittle. I felt a little cowardly, so I went out of my way to half-heartedly tug at one of the planks. Fortunately, I'd never been strong, and estrogen has further reduced my ability to pull planks off of things. Well, that was conclusive. I possibly can't get these off with my weak little arms. I almost used this as an excuse to get out of doing Nikita's busy work, but without her help, I knew I'd fail my coursework. I wasn't going to go home a failure. I will forever regret not taking the excuse. I should get a crowbar or something. I think that's how people get planks off of things in, like, games and stuff.
Meta reference.
I'll head into town. I'm sure I can find some boring old person shop that sells tools there. Also, I think it's really funny that actually your character, like Nikita going, it smelled very strongly of daffodils. So my thing would be like, well, just look to see where the most daffodils are.
Yeah.
You know, I actually don't know why you're doing anything with this house, especially if you haven't looked inside going, are there daffodils in the house?
Does the house smell of daffodils?
Right.
Walks up to the window. Coming out of
Honk, honk,
every
honk.
pore of the house is a reek of daffodils.
Ow.
Right! Welcome to hell. I dusted off my hands and started my hike back to town, somewhat regretting never learning to ride a bike. The monster near the woods would have to wait. Damn it. But I guess there are, like, daffodils
They're
along the
everywhere
path.
around, yeah.
But the thing is I would really like to be like, it's a very pungent sort of experience as far as I can tell. But that's just me.
On the other hand, part of me is just like, okay, but if you did write that and it was a piece of your fan fiction, then this entire errand is a fool's errand and you know it from the beginning.
Right?
And you're going, due diligence so I can get help.
Alright. It was a long walk back to town. Still, the exercise was probably good for me. I hadn't spent much time in town since moving to Blue Hills. It's too loud and busy for me. I was looking for a tool shop or something when I noticed a small shop called Heidi's. In the window was a big poster. All crowbars half price.
Ah,
That was convenient for sure.
a little too convenient.
Wait. The shop.
Ferret plushies!
That's so cute. The
I
shop.
only just like 3 days ago learned what a ferret was, or a ferret or whatever, And so I'm just like, they're ferrets, and it's so good.
Okay, so,
What?
the thing that I'm laughing about, and you're gonna have to forgive me,
The bird
is
and
that
snack machine? Oh.
No. Okay, so you have dolls of assumably people, because all the people in this world are animals.
Right, so these would
We
be...
don't really sell usually
People
dolls
dolls.
this aggressively in our own world. Like, we used to have more, like, specifically,
dolls.
like, doll, like, stores, though. You
Baby
know,
dolls,
your
yeah.
porcelain dolls, your collector's dolls, etc., etc. But those are, like, specific stores. So I find this to be funny going, we're just selling, basically, people dolls, you know, in convenience stores or hardware stores, and that's really damn funny to me. Does that make sense? Like,
Oh, no,
where
no,
that's
I
just...
get where you just walk into, like, your side convenience store and you're like, you got candy bars and you got soda, you got marshmallows, and then you have, like, little porcelain dolls or plush dolls of people. And then you also have ones of animals.
And also animals, which is interesting. And that's why I'm like, it's actually, that's just really
Space
hilarious
bats.
to me. Anyway, the shop seemed empty. Hello? Is anyone here?
I'd like to buy a half-price crowbar, please.
Nothing. There was a door behind the counter, slightly ajar. I guess it led to an office or something. Maybe the owner's in there. Looked around the shop, or I peeked through the door. I think you're looking for the person that seems pretty, like, this is a little bit more eccentric, but this seems to be fairly natural for what's going on. I figured I'd peek through the door. The shopkeeper hadn't responded when I called, so I was worried they'd had an accident or something, which makes sense. Sometimes people do that. They're like, genuinely like,
Hey,
hello?
is everything okay?
Yeah. I leaned to the side a little, squinting to see in the dark room. My eyesight is really bad, so I just saw a slightly dark-looking room. Predictable. The door swung open. Ah! Oh, God! A hyena stepped through. She looked annoyed with my spying. Either her spots were dyed red or she was spattered in blood. I assume this must have been Heidi.
Ha! What are you peeping at, Missy?
She seemed mad. This wasn't the fantastic customer service I'd expected from a shop. Not that I'm one to complain about poor customer service. I'm not a cop.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I thought you were dead or something.
Dead.
You didn't say...
Or maybe dead.
Or something.
Or dead.
You're more dead or less dead? You don't know. You didn't say anything when I called.
Uh-huh. I didn't hear you when you called.
Oh, that explains the music. Fair enough. She seemed to have calmed down and leaned on the counter. Okay.
Welcome to Heidi's. How may I help you today?
That only looked and sounded extremely forced.
Oh, sorry. Welcome to Heidi's. How may I help you today?
I saw the poster for crowbars. Could I get one? It was an exceptionally fake laugh, and I was a little worried I was being mocked.
Sorry, kid. I sold out a few hours ago. Unlucky. I'd overstocked. Typed an extra 3 zeros into the supplier's site. Ended up with 2,000 of the things. I had to start selling them off dirt cheap, but then the supplier just bought them all back. Guess they want to resell them. Still, I made a good profit on it. Ha! Those suckers.
Oh.
A little wild.
Oh, what?
Ha!
She paused for a moment, doubt flashing across her face. She started counting on her fingers, her grin quickly turning into a frown. She recounted, and then counted again.
Yeah, dear. If you buy them and then you discount them and then you sell them back, yeah, they're making money already. It's okay.
Yeah, you're
But
in
also
trouble.
just like, no one's ever made the doubt actually flash across their face in any game we've ever played.
No, I'm actually, like I said, there's the movements that we have started to find, like in little tiny indie games, are really charming when they pop up. Like, whoa.
I was saying,
Like-
and this is again, we keep encountering different like animation or movement choices and like different like expression decisions, and that one I find very appealing. Again, it's a little like surprising because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you click forward and it's immediately next dialogue, but this one has a lot more character for it.
Yeah.
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 Go.
It's really interesting.
Those fuckers! I made it $4,000 loss!
Pound.
Sorry, 4,000 pound loss! Mr. Crowbar is fucking dead.
She seemed to remember I was there.
Anyway, you want a crowbar, right? What for? You don't look like the DIY type. No offense.
It was a little offensive. Yeah, actually, although admittedly very true. I need to break open a door? I realized that probably sounded pretty suspicious, so I tried to defuse the situation. I'm not a burglar, it's my door.
Uh-huh.
A strange mix of resignation and confusion appeared on her face.
You accidentally boarded up your own door? Why do you assume boarded up, dear?
Well, that's actually pretty far.
But again, also, this is Trixie's perception,
Yeah.
which I really appreciate as a disclaimer and descriptor on this game, because it really can be your own guilt is seeping through in what you hear.
Yes. Though I am kind of wondering, like, again, I'm like, when does this start, where it just starts warping around? Like,
I think it starts at the very beginning. That's my assumption.
I would like it to be that way, because that's just hilarious to me. Yeah. Blame drunken student antics, admitted I was breaking into an abandoned cottage.
Honestly, Trixie seems pretty honest.
Trixie seems like a
And deflates
disaster.
easily,
Yeah,
yeah.
I admitted I break into a house, but it's abandoned. It's urban exploration.
I mean, it is.
Albeit, in this case, very rural.
Oh, sweet. I don't give a fuck about that. I just don't want to end up complicit in your breaking into someone's house and kicking them to death.
I was relieved she was going to let me have a crowbar, I think, but also slightly offended that apparently I look like a very inefficient murderer. Heidi dashed through the door behind the counter and quickly reappeared with a crowbar.
This is one of my personal crowbars, and I need my others, so if you somehow break it, don't come begging for a replacement. I don't offer warranties.
I'm also like, you're just gonna give us a personal crowbar? That's hilarious.
That's $15.
Pounds.
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 15 pounds.
It is actually English, that is funny. Oh, I rooted through my pockets and realized I'd forgotten my wallet.
You are completely correct in the case that you
I
pegged
can't
this as being
believe-
British, and you're just done.
How did I do? Okay, I'm
It's
fine.
okay. I've pegged a number of cartoons as being French. You just pick up on cues sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. All I had was about £3 in coins and a Demon trading card, which is a little odd since I don't even...
Demon.
Since I don't even collect those. I kind of forgot my money.
You forgot you needed money to pay for things at shops? Give me your cheese ropes.
Yeah, I guess. Do you accept trading cards? She didn't look amused. She drummed her fingers on the counter for a moment.
Okay. Whatever. If you owe me a favor.
What if?
Oh, what if you owe me a favor?
I hope this wasn't going to be a weird sex thing.
It's not a weird sex thing. Don't make that face, pervert.
I suddenly resented my naturally pervy face.
Sorry, I just have a naturally pervy face.
Alright, which of your characters is a naturally What does that even mean?
It's sort of like a natural, like a resting bitch face. You just have I'm sorry, I need to apologize for my naturally pervy face.
I really though just want to know, what does that look like? Naturally pervy face?
It rests like this.
I guess? I don't even know. I wasn't thinking that.
You were.
What was it you did want?
Nothing crazy, just helping me sort some extra stock. Usually I have to do it myself, but 2 hands are better than 1, right? Of course, you'll have to sign an NDA. Or not, what do I care? I have a taser.
It didn't sound very exciting, but I needed the crowbar, so I didn't have much choice. Okay, as long as it's just something small and legal. Another unconvincing laugh. I think it was supposed to sound friendly.
Yeah, it's fine. It's small. It's legal.
Did you just try to fake a reassuring laugh?
Fuck off. It was real. Give me your number so I can get a hold of you.
I gave her my number, hoping I wasn't about to end up crossing any borders with 5 kilos of counterfeit electronics hidden in my clothes because I knew I'd be too awkward to say no to that.
Super awkward. Caves easily. Great. I'll give you a call when I meet you. I prefer it to texting. Easier to shout.
Right. You're the kind of person who literally has caps locks locked on your phone because it's not enough.
At all times. You ever comment online, it is caps locked. And don't try to get away for free. I have a taser.
She put the hand out for a handshake. I guess she wanted to seal the deal. I limply shook it with my puny little arm. Sure, thanks to the crowbar. I guess I'll see you soon. Shit, what's going on?
I don't even
I left the shop armed with a crowbar, reflecting on how I seem to operate entirely on a favour-based system these days. Oh well, I thought. It was cheap. It's weirdly RPG-like, but here we are. I was pretty hungry, and as I walked through town, my eyes were drawn to a small shop called Gregg's Bakery. Greg's. I'm sorry, who are...
Would you like some Greggs?
Greg's!
You want some Greggs?
Greg's. The shop had a charmingly decorated exterior, albeit a little cutesy for my taste. I gazed at the food on display in the window, and I'm pretty sure I drooled on myself. It looked really good. I really needed some sugar.
Hi! Welcome to Gregg's Bakery. I'm Gregg, and this is my bakery.
Gregg has shop fangs like a bat, which is nice, though obviously that isn't important. Also, you're a sugar glider.
It's adorable.
Hey, I'm here to eat cakes.
Ah.
I'm all here to kick ass and eat cakes, and I'm all out of kicking ass.
Yes.
Do you sell cakes? I don't know why I asked that. I knew they sold cakes. I'd just been drooling over their display. Bang, bang, bang.
Oh, sure, we do. I make them all fresh every day. Do any catch your eye? If you decide you don't want a cake, I have plenty of other pastries and treats for you. An iced bun, a pizza slice, a donut, an iced pizza slice, vegetable rolls, bag of sprinkles, iced bag of sprinkles, vegetable roll, bag of sprinkles. Ha! Choice is yours.
They seemed nice. Nice. Albeit slightly hyperactive. Wow.
Maybe very hyperactive.
Oh, damn. I kind of suck at buying food, especially when there's so much choice. So I was glad to hear the door loudly open behind me and distract Gregg.
Ha! Hey, Belle. Belly? Belle?
Belle, I think.
The usual?
You betcha, hun. How's work going?
Ooh, great, thanks. It's been quite a day so far, but now I have 2 customers at once. Exciting. Huh? What was it you wanted me to get you?
They were looking at me and I still hadn't decided what I wanted. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, can I get that? I've been cut from another milk delivery route, Gregg. Can you believe it?
What? No way. Another one? Oh, how come?
The distraction gave me a chance to pick something. My eyes scanned across the cakes, desperately trying to choose one.
I love the fact that there's just pizza sitting there, like you display a donut. Just, here's the pizza.
My old manager left a few weeks back, and the new one is, semi-competent. He noticed it was taking me the entire day to do the morning run, and they were paying me to deliver to empty buildings. It was like, no way! I was like that. My contract says I have to. But he read my contract and it doesn't. The contract excuse had worked flawlessly for like 4 years, so I had no backup plan.
Okay, that sounds about right. Like
so, yeah, I'm just delivering to North Acres since they refused to let us deliver via drone like we do everywhere else now. I'm almost obsolete. Good jobs like these NIMBYs are keeping me in a job for a little longer. Those NIMBYs, excuse me.
Oh no, North Acres. I've heard bad things about that place. They aren't too keen on outsiders. What a sucky situation. Heck. Have your food on me.
They placed Belle's order on the counter and cancelled the payment. 2 large coffees and 4 vegetable sausage rolls. A pretty impressive lunch. Aw, you're too kind, hun. I'll make it up to you. North Acres ain't so bad. I just gotta ignore the locals and don't hang around. I think she must have noticed me staring at the cakes, slack-jawed. Oops, sorry for pushing in, hun. I'm not used to there being other people here. It's pretty quiet most days.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I get distracted. What was it you wanted?
I remember turning to look at them in wide-eyed in fear. Oh, God, I asked for a cake.
Cake.
That's a cake.
I came to eat cakes. Cake!
I don't know. I wanted to try one of the ice cakes with a cherry on top. They looked really nice. Cake.
Cake!
Cake! I jabbed a finger meekly at a random cupcake.
1 triple chocolate muffin coming right up.
This wasn't going to plan. If they picked up the muffin with some tongs and slid it into a paper bag.
Any other cakes, drinks, or savouries? A cheese bake, maybe?
Oh, yeah, I'll get another muffin, please.
Great choice.
Belle was looking at me, munching on one of her rolls. She seemed amused by my inability to buy cakes. I don't think I've ever seen you around town before. What's your name, hun? Oh, I'm Trixie Glimmer. I only moved here a few months back, and I don't get out much. Nice to meet you, Trixie. The name's Belle.
You're adorable.
She stepped forward with her arm outstretched and I shook her hoof. It was really clunky and awkward since she didn't have fingers. I hope this isn't too presumptuous, but if you're looking to make some friends here, you're always welcome to come down to the Attic Mouse. The bar, just around the corner. It's always nice to make some new pals, you know, especially if you're new to the area.
No, I sometimes go with Belle, but I've been too busy with the bakery recently. Everyone there is super nice. They're gay too, so you can just be yourself. I guess we're lucky to live in this queerest town in the country. I mean, not officially, sure, but heck, you try finding someone here who isn't queer.
They had a point. Everyone I'd met here was pretty fucking gay. Thanks for the invite. I'm not too good with social stuff, though. That's fair. You're always welcome to come along, though, huh? Just thought it'd be nice to let you know there's somewhere you can go to if you need it, you know? You can go if you need it. Anyway, I realised it was getting late and I still had to walk back to the cottage. Oh crap, I gotta go, sorry! I dropped some coins on the counter and ran out of the bakery. I hope I paid enough. I had the pair say goodbye behind me. They both seemed kind of nice, albeit a little scary.
They're just really present.
People
Present
are
is what they
horrifying.
are.
I had to take a short break to recover from gorging on about 5,000 calories of muffin, but I eventually reached the abandoned cottage at the end of Daffodil Lane. I managed to pry the front door open with a crowbar, which was tough given my complete lack of muscle mass. Regardless, I got the door open and tossed the crowbar away. My weak little arms couldn't carry it anymore. Without waiting around, I stepped through the dingy portal. I was immediately hit by a wall of stale air and decay.
And also like a ton of mold smell.
No kid, this place is disgusting. I flicked my torch on and finally realised it had no batteries. Frustrated, I chucked it to the floor. Little bug. I'd have to rely on my eyesight, which had been rapidly deteriorating since I started staying up till 5 a.m. using my laptop screen as my only light source. Not that it was great to begin with, given my condition. The building was dim, with a few shafts of light piercing the boarded windows. What looked like a basement door was slightly ajar. A cold and unpleasant stench seemed to crawl from it. I wanted to spend as little time in this place as possible. I decided to take a look around the ground floor before heading downstairs. I stepped into what seemed to be the kitchen. Water dripped from the wooden ceiling into the sink, which was close to overflowing.
Ew.
The water was dark and still. A few tufts of wool floated on the surface, stained to dirty brown. A gross smell seeped into the room from the pantry. I carefully pried it open and was relieved to not find any dead bodies.
Or living ones.
Living. Or undead. Or partially living. Or mostly dead.
Or just bodies of any kind.
Or just bodies. Instead, I found a small garden's worth of decomposting grass melting into a pool of green, frothy liquid.
Ew.
Oh, gross. What? Oh, who would keep grass in their pantry? I poked around in the pantry, trying to uncover anything else that might be hidden. At the very back, buried under some of the decaying grass, I found a tin of pineapple rings. The best before date was over 2 decades ago. The front depicted a happy pineapple mascot. "Eat me," he said.
I'm still impressed at your dedication to this task, based on how you're describing the task.
No kidding. Sorry, happy pineapple abomination, but I don't think I should. Besides, I don't have a cat opener. The bedroom was evidently plainly decorated years ago, but was now completely derelict. A bookshelf stood against one of the walls, but it was almost completely empty. The only books remaining were Manners for Girls and 7 Plants I Saw, an adventure story.
Okay, that sounds like a hell of an adventure story.
It kind of does.
7 plants I saw.
Whoa.
I decided not to read them. Like the kitchen, the window here had been boarded up, though I noticed that the planks seemed to have been taken from the bed's frame, given that the mattress slumped onto the floor. A pile of tools on the floor looked like the likely culprits for the renovations to this place's windows. I noted one of the tools was a sturdy crowbar.
Oh.
I went all that trouble of getting a crowbar when I could have just broken in here and got one for free. The tools looked old, but judging by their relative cleanliness, appeared to have been used recently. Next to the bed was a small dresser, and on top of that, a picture frame. I wiped the dust away from the photograph to reveal a woman, probably in her 40s. The photograph itself had that old-fashioned faded look to it, and her hair looked very 80s.
I love those things, where sometimes you're like, whatever else I know this one thing.
Right.
80s.
I guess this lady must have lived here before abandoning the cottage. It doesn't look like she properly packed when she left, though, given the load of her stuff seems to be here.
Okay, again, I know the narrative's all over the place, but I'm like, who keeps a picture of themselves beside their bed?
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It was a loud groan from upstairs, the settling of the cottage's timber frame, I told myself. Regardless, it gave me a scare. Oh, God, this place really has me on edge. Let's hurry this up. The bathroom window was broken, and one of the boards seemed to have fallen off. A black feather was snagged on one of the nails still left in the frame.
I knew the damn feathers would be important when I saw them in the stupid vending machine.
I wondered about that myself.
And then you got the bird's nest, and you got
Uh-huh.
the shiny things. There's gonna be corvids in here.
There's going to be a murder.
Oh, there might be.
There might be. The water tank that was probably meant to be above the toilet had fallen down, littering the floor with smashed ceramic shards and leaving a mouldy damp patch spreading from the toilet's gutted remains. The bottom few inches of the bathtub were stained brown, as if it had been full of rancid water for some time before being emptied.
Ew.
The plug hole was matted with wool, almost like a spider web. Oh, this is nasty. What's wrong with this place? Oh, no wonder it smells like shit.
Whoa.
I was cut off as the house groaned, as if settling. Only then did I realise how weak the floor seemed to be in this room, and step back.
You're gonna fall through there, dear.
But you know what?
But you might have to fall through
in
the
next one! Hey! So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. Any actually engagement that you give us, no obligation to do so, but it does actually help us with the algorithm because YouTube goes, oh, active channel! People care about this thing. Let us share it. So if you do any of that, it is actually helpful to us. But also, if you want to more directly support the channel, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon and our Twitch and our Tumblr and our Instagram and any number of things that we have linked down below.
Yes.
That would be excellent to see you there. And other than that, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!